Hello and welcome to TA for Traders. It's Friday the 20th of October. This is my usual weekly video when we look at market sentiment and money flow. What I'm going to do is go through the charts on the major asset classes and we'll just determine where we feel that the momentum is taking us. Let's look at those charts. So starting with government bond yields, this is the 10-year bond yield, and you can see that this week we came back to the supports of the moving averages and we've moved back up. That's taken us back above the 20 and the 200-day moving average. Momentum still reasonably okay. Might be creating a short-term kind of shallow downtrend, but it's still above 50. And if we can spike into higher ground above 240, I'll suggest that the RSI will rise as well, which would be a positive sign. Overall, looks like these yields are going higher. On the European market, you can see we're having a spike up today. That's going to take us into resistance, but above the moving averages. Still some speculation whether we're going to get tapering of the quantitative easing in Europe. We're at the upper boundary of a downtrend, quite a critical level. Momentum is starting to increase. The RSI has just gone above 50, but the MACD are still short term below the longer term. I would say we'd need a break really above this downtrend line, which would probably be a break up to about 0.48 before we get a confirmation of a break in that downtrend. On the British bond 10-year yield, here it's been a volatile week due to the Brexit negotiations. Did fall earlier in the week. We're having an update today. I was surprised when we fell through the support of the 20-day straight away, but that's now a resistance. Let's see how it copes if we get back up there. For the medium term, the 50-day did cross through the 200-day, which is bullish for yields. Momentum here has been lost. We're at 52 at the moment. Just keep your eye on that, and MACD are moving down, so changing the picture on this over the last week. Moving on to currencies, dollar index, that's finding support at its 20-week moving average. Remember, we did have that golden cross as the 20 crossed the 50. I would say that that bullish picture is still in place. We've still got positive momentum from the RSI, although the MACD are flat lining. Really, I would want to break above 1200 quite quickly over the next week, I'd say, for the confirmation of that uptrend. Here I've got the dollar against the Aussie dollar. I did a video on this earlier in the week if you want to look at that. Again, I think it's for the short term dollar positive. On the euro, here we've got the euro against the British pound. Obviously, the Brexit negotiations this week were the key factor. Euro now up to the resistance of the downtrend in 50-day. Looks like we're going to get a pincer formation between the 50 and the 20. But there is some positive momentum for the euro against sterling. Moving on to indices, obviously the US indices have just continued up this week. Trend is your friend. Please look at, this is the S&P we're looking at here, but do look at my video I did today on the Dow Jones. There's some significant points of interest in that video. Here we're well above the moving averages, moving up, slightly getting overbought and slightly overextended from the moving averages. You can also see that the MACD is starting to look a bit tired as well. Eurostoxx 50 has just had a flat week. flat lined. Is this a flag? We need to wait and see. Finding support at the 20-day moving average, but we are losing momentum. The FTSE, and here you can see we stayed above the downtrend line that I drew on my last video, which was good. But again, we do need to get some upside momentum as the RSI and MACD are rolling and in a shallow downtrend. Moving on to oil, this is the WTI. Again, it failed to break its long-term uptrend, its long-term barrier on the upside. That was on the weekly. If you look at the weekly, I'll just put the weekly up here quickly, and you can see that this barrier is quite significant. If we can get above there, I think it would bode for a rally up to the 60, but again we failed. Moving back to the daily picture, and you can see we're pulling back to support at the 20-day, but we're losing momentum. RSI in a downtrend, presently at 52.32, and the MACD rolling. I did a video on WTI, that was yesterday, if you want to look for a more detailed analysis. Gold, I did a video today on that, so please do look for that video. But it does look again negative in the short term as we move down below the 20-day, and the RSI is now back below 50. But it's not all bad for commodities. So you can see that copper is looking good. Had a golden cross on its 2050, did reach a new high for the year, which was good, consolidated. Maybe it's going to create a flag, let the moving averages catch up before moving up again. And finally on palladium, again a bullish picture as we move to a new high. We're getting the flag, moving averages all looking good, and further upside should be expected. Thanks for watching. Again, it's another video where I talk a lot and rush through charts, but I do hope you find it of interest. Any recommendations are just my opinion, they're not investment recommendations. And again, I'll be showing my disclaimer. Please do read it. Thank you.